The first sunny weekend finally arrives in the Pacific Northwest. The clouds break, you set up the patio chairs, and the bright sunlight hits your house, immediately revealing 6 months of rain, moss, and a layer of grime on the siding. You are faced with a tough choice: ignore the mess while your guests are over, or sacrifice your first free weekend to scrub the exterior. But dealing with this buildup is not about aesthetics. In this climate, summer maintenance is a strict operational necessity. If that green fuzz on your roof eats through the asphalt shingles, a full replacement runs between $15,000 and $30,000. And those clogged gutters will back up when the heavy rain returns, driving water straight into your foundation to the tune of $1,500 to $6,000 in damage. Spending a little time or money right now operates as a cheap insurance policy that protects your home's most expensive materials. This timeline map outlines the Pacific Northwest year, highlighting our one reliable dry stretch from mid-May through early October. During these months, the intense summer heat causes roof moss to dry out and go completely dormant. Without daily rain showers washing everything away, cleaning solutions and treatments can actually soak into the shingles and hold. Late May is also when the heavy tree pollen finally stops dropping. Over the summer, direct sunlight bakes that bonded layer of pollen into your siding, making it much harder to remove the longer it sits. If you leave it on too long, it won't wash off at all. You will be forced to repaint the exterior, which typically costs $4,000 to $10,000. Once the fall rains return, the moss wakes up and spreads aggressively before any new treatments can stick. Utilizing this brief dry window is the only way to stay ahead of the weather, rather than chasing decay all winter. When the sun comes out, half the neighborhood rents a pressure washer looking for instant gratification. But hitting older wood with high pressure inflicts immediate mechanical destruction, leaving the boards splintered and fuzzy instead of clean. On an asphalt roof, the shear force blasts away the protective UV granules from the shingles. Doing this will almost always void your roof's manufacturer warranty on the spot. On your siding, the high-pressure stream drives water upward, forcing it directly behind the protective panels. Trapped moisture has nowhere to dry out, feeding hidden wood rot and mold inside your walls. You get a house that looks clean for a week, while secretly accelerating the decay of your most expensive materials. This comparison table shows why the industry standard for Pacific Northwest homes is a completely different approach called a soft wash. Instead of relying on brute force, a soft wash uses low pressure and specialized mixes to neutralize living growth right at the root. This targeted chemical process safely lifts the bonded pollen off your siding without risking water intrusion. Down on the ground, walkways, decks, and driveways take the highest amount of summer foot traffic. Pressure washing is perfectly acceptable for concrete and solid pavers, but a soft wash is absolutely required to protect your roof and siding. You also need to look up at your solar panels. Summer dust and pollen quietly block the glass, cutting your energy output during the exact months your system should be maxing out. A drop in production usually just means you have a dirty array, not a failing system, but it requires specialized cleaning gear to handle safely. Matching the exact cleaning method to the correct surface preserves your warranties while fully neutralizing the root cause of the grime. You don't need every treatment every year. This property walk scorecard takes 15 minutes and lets the house tell you exactly what it needs, preventing unnecessary work. Start by inspecting the north-facing and fully shaded slopes of your roof. If you see green fuzz, dark streaks, or find shingle grit washing out of your downspouts, your dormant moss requires treatment. Next, check your gutters. A typical spring dumps fir cones and maple seed pods into the troughs, and they need immediate clearing before they clog. Run your hand along the siding that never receives direct sunlight and look for overflow stains directly under the downspouts. Targeting these specific problem zones saves you money, allowing you to spot wash exact areas instead of paying for a full house treatment. Finally, inspect your deck and walkways early in the morning while the surfaces are still damp. If a wood board feels greasy or looks gray-green in the shade, you are stepping on active living algae, which is a major slip and fall hazard. If you are doing the work yourself, hand clear those gutters and spot treat the moss while it is dormant, but permanently put down the pressure washer. If you don't have the time, do the walk once to identify your issues and get a single quote for a professional soft wash so you can outsource the latter risk entirely. You can even utilize an annual maintenance plan to automate the process and remove it from your mental load. Efficiently knocking out these targeted tasks during the dry window guarantees your asset stays protected, allowing you to actually enjoy the Pacific Northwest summer worry-free.